I'd like to thank our panel of experts, our guest volunteers, and as always, you, our unbeatable audience.
Henry, what is he doing? We have 2.5 minutes left.
I'd also like to make
a personal
statement. Keep going. Regarding the recent and tragic murder of Laurel Dillon on
Oh, Henry, this is not approved.
I know I speak for everyone.
Would you stop him?
Cutting edge when I tell you that.
Keep going.
Is there anything else we can cut to?
Please. We can't. To our audience, and more specifically to the entire Dillon Delaney family.
Oh.
We decided to go ahead with the episode because we thought it could stand as a warning, a reminder of the tragedy that inevitably occurs because of hatred and intolerance.
All right, we're calling editing. You hear me, Henry?
Keep going.
Yeah, could I talk to somebody, please?
At least we got ourselves a good judge.
You can't lose.
That's right. Facts are facts.
Your lawyer's not too shabby either. Right rules.
You'll get your classroom back.
Well, I hope so. I want to thank all you guys for offering support. I appreciate it.
All right. Court of this county is now in session. The Honorable Judge Barbara Berkowitz presiding. Civil case number 62B-281, Delaney versus Pine Valley Board of Education. Be seated.
Ready or not, here we go.
Mr. Dillon, your opening statement.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My client, Michael Delaney, decorated war veteran, dedicated teacher, and responsible citizen, was fired from Pine Valley High School. Not because he was unqualified, inexperienced, or incompetent, or because he broke certain rules, as my esteemed opposing counsel will claim on behalf of the Pine Valley School Board. None of those allegations are true. Mr. Delaney got the pink slip because, like a significant portion of our population, he was born gay. According to the Declaration of Independence, all men are created equal. More important, County Ordinance 210-20 bars discrimination based on race, religion, gender, or sexual orientation. Now, what does that mean? That means you can't go firing somebody because of what they were born or what they believe. Gay women and men, like my client, Mr. Delaney, hardworking, tax-paying, patriotic, upstanding citizens in all walks of life, have the same rights and privileges as all of us do. Now, before I go rapping Mr. Delaney here and the flag and I start singing the Star-Spangled Banner, let me make one point. There are certain people, very vocal people, who tend to squawk about our sacred American freedoms, who want to limit those freedoms. They want to limit those freedoms to people who talk and act the way they do. But we got news for them. Everybody is entitled to all those freedoms, including a damn good teacher named Michael Delaney.
Tad's on his way up. This might be a good time to take a 5.
Yeah, why don't we take a 5?
Take 5 on the studio floor.
Schedule more of that vacation, Henry. Unbelievable.
What the hell are you doing?
Oh, I can ask you the same question.
I asked you first.
I'm doing my job.
Well, you overstepped. How dare you call editing and tell them to cut my apology from the show?
Who gave you permission to take 2.5 minutes of valuable airtime on a boring mea culpa?
It was my judgment call, Liza.
I vetoed it. When you brought it up, I said, I think, no.
I repeat, it was my call.
Did you even discuss it with legal? Admitting culpability invites litigation.
Discuss it with legal. I don't care about lawyers or ratings or bottom line profits. Apologizing for airing Laurel's murder was the right thing to do. Remember, that is what we're supposed to stand for. Don't back off now just to make my life miserable.
Me? Make your life miserable?
Liza, just get on the phone, call editing, and reinstate the bid.
Well, you think you're the center of every decision I make? Is that it?
I think you like to get my blood going. Yes, yes. But this time, it is not going to work.
I have served on the Pine Valley School Board for 16 years, ever since my son Gregory was in 10th grade.
Did you vote to end the teaching career of Michael Delaney?
Yes, I did. Mr. Breck, the principal, reported to the school board that Mr. Delaney was using unapproved, inappropriate, and inflammatory materials in his class.
Well, why don't we just take a gander at Exhibit A here? It's a poster from the Holocaust Museum showing different armbands and triangles that were worn by certain parts of the population. The Germans forced them to wear it before and during World War II. Now, is this the unapproved, inappropriate, inflammatory material you're referring to?
Yes.
Mrs. Nelson, would you explain to the jury why this poster is so offensive?
It's not the poster per se. It is the way he used it to introduce a topic which has nothing whatever to do with world history.
A topic. Now, what topic exactly might that be?
Homosexuality.
Mrs. Nelson, would you define history as the branch of knowledge that deals with past events?
Yes.
Would you claim that there were no gay people involved in past events?
I'm sure I have no idea. But I do know that according to the district school's policy, sexuality is only taught in biology and sex ed classes. Mr. Delaney was fired because he was breaking the rules, not because he's homosexual.
Is this the world history textbook that is approved by the Pine Valley school system?
Yes.
The one that's used in Mr. Delaney's classroom?
Yes.
Well, we're just going to turn to page 255, take a gander at that one. You describe that picture right there.
Well, it's a color photograph from the Holocaust Museum showing patches and armbands.
You see the yellow star right there and the different color patches?
Yes.
Yeah, what color are those patches?
Pink and black.
Do you know what they mean?
The Nazis forced homosexuals to wear a pink patch. I don't know what the black one is for.
The black ones were the ones they forced the lesbians to wear.
Oh.
Mrs. Nelson, could you explain the fact that this approved world history book contains the same material that the unapproved, inappropriate, inflammatory poster has? Now, why is this one good and that one bad?
As I said, it's the way he used it.
Thank you. No further questions. Your witness.
Your witness, Mr. Golden.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Mrs. Nelson.
Good afternoon.
Would you read the text under the photograph on page 255 from the officially sanctioned world history book? Go on, please, read it out loud.
Oh, a collection of armbands and patches from Auschwitz prison camp, courtesy Holocaust Museum.
Does it mention homosexuality?
No,
Is homosexuality mentioned anywhere in that book?
certainly not.
Thank you, Mrs. Nelson. No further questions.
Recross, Mr. Dillon?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
You may step down. Call your next witness.
We call Laura Kirk.
Yeah. I got a C- in history last semester, but I'm lucky I passed it all. In September, my reading skills reeked, but Mr. D noticed, and he helped me. He worked with me, you know, extra time after school and on weekends, but he never, ever made me feel dumb. And now my average is a B. He's just an incredible, really incredible teacher.
Did your relationship with Mr. Delaney improve or deteriorate after he used the Holocaust poster to announce he was gay?
Well, it pretty much stayed the same.
You weren't uncomfortable being in the locker room with a known homosexual?
Well, at first it was kind of weird, but now it's okay. Michael Delaney is a great teacher and a great coach, and I don't care if he's gay.
You made a personal announcement of your own recently on television, more specifically on Tad Martin's Cutting Edge, right?
Yes, I told everyone I was gay.
Did Mr. Delaney have anything to do with that announcement?
No. I've known I was gay a long time. I just never told anyone.
Not even Mr. D?
No.
but I admire Mr. D's courage. I respect him. He's the best teacher I've ever had.
Thank you, Kevin.
Exactly how long have you known you were gay, Kevin?
Oh, since I was a kid.
Yeah, but you never told anyone.
No.
Until Mr. Delaney made his famous pink triangle speech. Now, be honest, Kevin, isn't that when you decided you were gay?
I'd like a little private word with you, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important to keep our professional and personal lives separate.
Cutting your stupid apology had nothing to do with our personal lives. It was fluff. It was ego. It was a plea for pity, and now it's gone.
Come on, Liza, you saw the numbers. What, you don't think the audience deserves an apology?
You know, you can wear your knees out at home. The audience wants entertainment, not self-flagellation.
You know, there is such a thing as owning up to your mistakes. It's okay.
Yes, I forgot. The meek will inherit the earth, but not on my station, not when I'm in charge.
Yeah, well, I guess it's not going to be your station for long.
Oh, you gonna take it from me?
I think I could do a better job.
How? Gonna have everybody wear uniforms, sing Kumbaya together every morning?
I'm sick of fighting with you.
You know, you're a neo-fascist megalomaniac. Why don't you wear the hair shirt at home? Keep it out of the office, will you?
And somebody should have rammed a little respect and humility into you a long time ago.
Talk about ramming a little humility into me. You want to preach about that now? You want to preach to me about that?
This comfortable little perch you've got with the powers that be is going to run this station right
You're
into
like
the ground.
Right such an
into the
egomaniac.
ground.
Cease fire! Stop this nonsense right now.
You're butting into something that's entirely none of your business.
I own this station, Tad. Anything that happens here is my business.
Adam, we were simply discussing Tad's ambition.
Well, think of me as your commander-in-chief. And you, my trusted lieutenants, are threatening my command with this ridiculous infighting, so it's settled. No more petty backstabbing. From here on out, it's all-out, full-scale war. Mortal Kombat. I'll put you both on notice. The top dog position at WRCW is hereby up for grabs.
I beg your pardon?
You've both thrown your hat in the ring.
Wait, I have a signed contract, Adam.
With a 26-week option. Now, here are the rules.
Wait, this isn't fair. You're taking advantage of a personal situation.
Liza, life isn't fair. But here I make the rules. And I reserve the right to change those rules at any time or without notice.
And you thought I was a neo-fascist.
You will both produce the cutting edge. First you, and then you. And then you again. You see how that works? At the end of Liza's cycle, we'll compare ratings. The guy with the highest score wins the game.
And what about the loser?
If you lose, you can apply for Tad's job as host.
Well, I won't lose, but when I win what I already have, Adam. I think we should up the stakes.
Well, good. Sounds more interesting all the time.
Mm-hmm. If I win, Tad signs a 2-year deal to host the Cutting Edge. Ironclad, no options, no outs.
Sounds like a win-win situation to me.
Oh, who are you kidding? It's your favorite scenario. We who are about to die salute you, two professionals at each other's throats, divided loyalties, lust for blood. Sounds great. Let's do it.
That was quick.
Don't get me wrong. I think deliberately creating tension in the workplace is about as dumb an idea as I've ever heard of. I mean, for one thing, how's anybody going to know who to answer to, where the buck stops? Whatever happened to united we stand, divided we fall?
Are you backing away from this challenge already?
Well, certainly the written record is clear. There's nothing but praise in every one of these reports. What about the spoken word? Any recriminations from school superintendents, principals, teachers, and the like?
Not until I mentioned that under a fascist, white supremacist government like Hitler's, homosexuals like myself were carried off to the gas chambers in droves. After that, things changed. I was accused of using the classroom to promote an agenda.
A homosexual agenda?
Yes.
Were you?
No, there is no homosexual agenda that I know of. I was simply using the classroom to teach history. Period. The kids understood what happened in those gas chambers, but they couldn't relate it to their own lives, to their own friends and the people around them. It was not a conscious choice. I used who I am to help them learn. I was doing my job. Or so I thought.
No further questions. Your witness.
Mr. Delaney, as you know, many Americans have never become acquainted with a homosexual, including several members of our jury. So if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a few questions about that. Homosexuals have intimate relationships with people of the same sex, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Yes.
Are you in a relationship right now?
No, I'm not.
Why?
Well, Mr. Golden, I haven't found the right man.
Are you looking?
Not in the classroom, if that's what you're implying.
Exactly where do you expect to find the right man?
Objection, Your Honor, that's irrelevant.
Sustained. Move on, please, Mr. Golden.
Have you ever marched in a gay pride parade?
Once in New York City when I was in grad school.
You testified that you don't have a homosexual agenda. Do you have a political one?
The only agenda that I have is to teach the truth. Now, if the facts of my personal life offend some of the students in my class, for that I am sorry. In law, truth is the ultimate defense, isn't it, Mr. Golden?
You're the teacher. I'm the lawyer. Did you read the Handbook of Ethics and Standards issued by the Pine Valley School System before you signed your contract?
Yes.
Including Section 3, Paragraph 2, prior approval of teaching aids?
Yes.
According to standards and ethics agreed to by you under the terms of your contract, failure to comply with Section 3, Paragraph 2 can result in what, Mr. Delaney?
Dismissal.
What you did is grounds for dismissal, isn't it?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. No more questions.
You may step down. We'll take a brief recess.
All right.
You did good.
I just hung myself.
You did good.
Mr. Dean, Mr. Dillon.
We've got a new witness for you. I may be a lot of things, Liza, but I'm not a quitter.
I'm delighted to hear that.
I'm not backing off.
Nothing to spur the economy like a good, healthy war, eh, Adam?
Sure, a couple Scud missiles overhead keeps the troops on their toes. Some incoming ordnance good for productivity.
Make love, not war.
We can do love later. Right now, shake hands and come out fighting. May the best person win.
Fair warning. You go behind my back again, cut the show without my permission, undermine me on this set, treat me with anything other than respectful, professional courtesy, and you'll wish you hadn't. I'm serious, Liza. No more games, no more leaving earrings in hotel rooms, no more giving out the wrong flight information, all the nifty little stuff you used to do to make me look like a jerk. Don't do it anymore.
Seems like Dixie's paranoia is rubbing off on you.
Yeah, I guess so. Like I said, play it straight or the gloves come off.
The gloves are already off. I don't need to use tricks to win. I think honesty and openness might be the keys to my success. Your shows are going to speak for themselves. They are going to bore the viewers to death. The ratings will tell all.
You're in for the fight of your life.
Boy, there's more riding on this than Adam knows, isn't there?
Good luck. You're going to need it.
Mr. Cortlandt, how long have you known Enid Nelson?
About 25 years.
You heard her testify that Mr. Delaney was fired not because he was gay, but because he broke a rule. Now, to the best of your knowledge, is that true?
No, that's a lie.
So, in fact, he was fired because he was gay?
That is the only reason he was fired.
You're sure about this?
Yes, I'm positive. I heard it this afternoon with my own ears. She said that the county anti-discrimination ordinance means that you have to come up with excuses for firing, and she called him perverted. Enid Nelson is and always has been a bigot.
A bigot? No further questions. Your witness.
Well, Mr. Cortlandt, the conversation you had only this afternoon, how extraordinarily convenient.
Well, unfortunately, the rest of the board members clearly agree with her.
You realize Mrs. Nelson enjoys an unblemished reputation in this town. Her patriotism and civic pride are unquestioned. She's a pillar of this community. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for you, and yet you label her a lying bigot.
I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, Mr. Golden, but I'm not a bigot, and I'm not a liar.
The record speaks for itself. But it's Your word against hers, since the alleged conversation took place between only 2 people.
There were 3 people there.
You, Mrs. Nelson, and who else?
Hector Santos.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Be seated. State your name and address.
My name is Hector Santos. 46 Choco Avenue, Pine Valley.
Buenos dias, Mr. Santos.
Buenos dias.
Your daughter is enrolled in Mr. Delaney's history class. Is that correct?
Yes.
You were one of several parents who called for the resignation of Mr. Delaney, pressured the school board to have him fired. Do you think he is a bad teacher?
Well, I think that some of the material he chooses to teach is bad, yes.
You were present at a conversation this afternoon between Mrs. Nelson and Mr. Palmer Cortland, weren't you?
At my home, yes.
So you heard Enid Nelson admit that the unauthorized teaching material was not the real reason Michael Delaney was fired.
I did not.
You heard Enid Nelson call him perverted.
No.
Mr. Santos, do you hate homosexuals so much that you would lie in court under oath?
Objection.
I withdraw the question. No further questions, Your Honor.
We'll take another brief recess. The jury is instructed not to discuss the case. Mr. Santos, you may step down. Court is in recess.
All right.
I'm sorry, Mike. That didn't go the way I wanted it to go.
They tricked us.
Trevor called you to testify?
They sent Palmer to spy on us.
Anita, you lied.